All right, so for today's Engage, day 2, answer the problem below. We've got to use the method of sealed bids based on the below bids and determine the final settlement for the three players A, B, and C. Hang on for me one sec. All right, so back to it, the three players A, B, and C. So our item, we don't know what they are. We'll call them item 1, 2, and 3. And we have our three players here, player A, player B, and player C. And then each of them have their values, dollar values in their sealed bids. So using the method of sealed bids, determine the final settlement. So if we go back and I create a table for our three players, I don't know how many there are. We'll just delete what we don't want. So for A, say for item 1, we know how much, I can just copy paste here, copy paste. We know all of that information. So let's do their fair share. And so for A, it's got to be 150 because each of those are worth 150. You add it all up, divide by the total number of people, and it's going to be 150, right? Because what? 450 divided by 3. So here, I'll write that in. 450 divided by 3. Um, Same thing here. We'd say 100 plus 200 plus 300, which is 600. 600 divided by 3. Let's do that. 600 divided by 3. That's going to equal $200, which is our fair share for player B. Player C, add them all up, 2 plus 3 plus 250 gives us $750 divided by 3. That's probably a decimal coming over here, 750 divided by 3. Oh, nope, 250. So that's 250 for their fair share. Now, going back to what we learned from the other day, we then are going to do the first allocation. So when we allocate, we know that the highest bid, say, look for item 1. The highest bid there is C. So C is going to get that one. Let me highlight this. So C wins. They win item 1. Looking at item 2, highest bid is again C. So C again, they win item 1, item 2. And then for the highest bid on item 3 would have to be player B, who bid 300, so they get item 3. So this is nada. They get nothing there. So then we kind of look for the surplus. So when we do the surplus, remember that is, and I don't know if I can merge all of those, but that's when we add all the amount paid in. Well, how about this? We do pay or get or pay. So get or pay. So for A, they didn't get anything. Their fair item share was 150, right? So they're going to get, they didn't pay anything. They should get out $150. For B, again, this is going to be fair share minus paid. So fair share is 200 minus how much they paid in, and they paid in 300, which is a grand total of minus 100. So for player C, their fair share is 250 minus how much they paid in, which would have been $500 because the 200 plus 300. So that is a minus 250. We're going to have to add in another row after, and now it's surplus. And so surplus is when we take a pay amount and subtract a get amount. So we'll say here 100 plus 250 is part of it, and then we subtract in the 150 that we got paid. So the surplus is going to be there because that's going to give us what? 350 minus 150, which equals 200. So there's a $200 surplus. And so then everybody, the surplus is equal to $200 divided by the three players, which means that every player is going to get 66.67. So $66.67. So with that information, now we do the final allocation, which is what we want, right? The final settlement. Here, I'll re-say it. Final settlement. So player A gets 150 and $66.67. Player B gets item 3, pays 200, excuse me, 100, and gets $66.67. Player C um, gets items 1 and 2, pays 250, and gets $66.67. And I'll put the dollar signs here for us. So you can see how we get all the money in there and how we allocated the items as well. Awesome. All right. Post that in, look for my answers.